Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about a guide to buying cards in the Genius Invocation TCG.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
So let's get started by looking at the different kinds of cards that we have right now in the shop. As a beginner player, you will be getting this lucky coin through which you can buy equipment cards, support cards, or even cards. So obviously there will be a lot of choices. I'm going to be talking about the best ones to buy as a beginner player. Also, these ones generally would be very helpful to your deck in any situation, to be honest. So let's start with the event cards first. One of the best cards in the game is strategize, draw two cards. In any card game, drawing cards is extremely strong because literally when you draw cards, the cards that you draw can literally change the game in your favor in an instant. So these kind of drawing cards are extremely strong. Keep that in mind. So the first thing you would do is buy the strategize cards. Next one I would suggest is Leave It To Me. This card is very good as it lets you switch a character and be able to attack at the same time after you switch that character. Also, its cost is 0. So I feel this is a very strong card. And the third one I would suggest is Star Signs. This way, obviously elemental bursts do a lot more damage. So having energy to unleash that burst will obviously be very desirable. So this card, although the cost is a bit high, but during certain situations and instances, this card can literally change the game in your favor. Some honorable mentions I would like to add is Quick Knit. You can choose one of your summons and it will have one extra usage, like Fischl's E-Skill or Sucrose's Burst. The next one would be Send Off. Similarly, your opponents can have summons, so this card is very useful. Just you can choose one summon and destroy that one. Obviously, the cost for two to just get one summon is kind of high, but sometimes this card will be useful. But obviously, the first priority I would suggest buy Strategize, then buy Leave It To Me, then buy Star Signs. After that, you can go with everything as you build your deck and choose your characters. Moving on to support card. The number one I would suggest is Dawn Winery. When you perform switch character, spend one less elemental die. So this basically lets you switch character for free. And there is no limitation like after a few rounds it will not disintegrate. This will stay throughout the game. This is extremely strong. And this will help you generate elemental reactions, switch, and when you combine this with Leave It To Me, this can literally change the game in one turn. The next card I would say is Catherine. When you perform switch character, this is considered fast action instead of a combat action. This is basically the permanent version of Leave It To Me. If you combine this with Dawn Winery, you literally have a way to one turn kill an opponent. Moving on, I would say Liyue Harbor Wharf is a very good card. As I said before, drawing cards is extremely strong, but it has only 2 usage and you get to draw during the end phase 2 extra cards. So, but still, I feel this is a very good card overall. After that, I would go with Favonius Cathedral. This, you might say, like heal your character, you can use foods, but this has 2 usages, so it also heals your active character. So you can, when you combine this with the support cards of Dawn Winery or Catherine, you can literally heal whichever character you want within 1 or 2 turns. But this is a pretty good card. The last one I would suggest is Ellen. This will stay throughout. There are no limitations. So you can use this, like this card's effect stays. Once you use a skill, you can the next time you use that skill, it will cost 1 less elemental die. So that is extremely strong in my opinion. Like when you use Fischl's E-Skill costs 3 elemental die. First time you use E-Skill, next time you use it, it will cost 2. So this overall helps you manage your elemental die and you get to attack more. This is very good. Now, the final one would be the equipment cards. For equipment cards, this is literally based on your character cards that you have. So as a beginner player, you'll only have access like just after completing the basic quest and doing a few matches, you'll have access to Fischl Diluc, Kaya, and Sucru. Also, you have these options. You have these artifact cards, which are pretty good. Not going to lie, they're useful. You have as a beginner, you have access to a few and then you can buy the rest. But since you'll be buying, I suggest to get the higher version, the ones that cost 700. Yes, it costs 3 instead of 2, but this will obviously give you the elemental die to cast the elemental skills or burst of that particular character. The 700 versions of the artifact sets are really good. So based on your deck, buy these, but only after you have bought the event and support cards. Event and support cards come first, then you get the equipment cards. So that's about does it for the cards. Now let's move on to deck building. So in the beginning, you'll have access to this deck for free. Obviously, it will have its own set of cards. I edited it a bit to make it viable, but I don't particularly use this deck. I built this one, Fischl Overload, and I feel this is a pretty comfortable, quick swap, and a pretty effective deck to play as a beginner. For this particular deck, the biggest strength or the most important piece of this deck is Fisher, or rather her E skill, which creates a summon on the field. And that is the one that will drive all the reactions, either the swirl or the overload. So obviously the first one you start with Fischl, generate her E skill, and then swap out. But every time you swap, you have to wait a turn, then be able to attack in the next turn. That you see where I'm getting at, right? That is the reason why I preferred to buy the Dawn Winery card, the Catherine, and leave it to me. Combining these, I can literally one turn kill my opponent. It's not exactly one turn killed all the time, but it gives me a lot of advantages. And if you and overall, even if I don't consider the summons, if you're using any elemental reaction other than summons or based on summons, if you have the option to switch your character and cause elemental reaction, that front loads a lot more damage and gives you a lot of advantages. Heck, you can even finish off a particular card within 2 turns. That is huge actually. So that is why having the cards that you want to draw earlier at 2 will give you the probability of drawing those particular cards earlier. So this is what my general deck looks like. For food cards, if I forgot to mention, I think in once while I was making that. So for the food cards, I suggest have the ones that cost 0 in your deck, because using one particular, like using an elemental die to heal your character for one particular round, I mean, it's okay if it costs 1, but instead you can just have the Favonius Cathedral on your field and you can switch your characters based on your need and heal. Other than that, as a backup, have at least 1 or 2 food item that will cost 0 to heal your character. That's pretty good. And that's about does it. For now, let's move on to the gameplay of this deck. The basic idea of this particular Fischl Overload deck, and see the cards that I had in the deck at 2, I have a higher chance of drawing them. So that way I don't have to remove any of the cards. All of them are useful. Obviously, you can say that, yeah, there's an option that you can replace, but the cards that you need, if you get it in your first turn or after redrawing, that helps you out a lot. With this set, I feel it's pretty good. Let me keep it. For this deck, obviously start with Fischl, because she will be the driver of the reactions. I'm going to draw 2 cards first, see what I get. Okay, I drew this card and I can use it. I'm to use this particular card, but for now, let's just generate Oz.
By royal decree.
In the next round, we can switch. Okay, these guys are gonna make it annoying. I am going to convert this to a die so that I can use this. The general idea is to be able to switch characters for free.
Let's finish this swiftly.
So now we will end our turn. This is a pretty good row. I can, but then again, I need pyro. Okay, this will also do. So now I can just finish off this electrohelical shooter with one hit using Diluc because of the overload reaction. And since we do not have any other turn or any other place to make right now, I'm just gonna end my turn and take my first attack. Take my opportunity to attack first during the next round. This card, the second time around, if we draw it, it's literally useless. So you can feed this card to convert and get an desired elemental die. But for now, I'm going to just attack with Diluc, finish this card. So now I can switch to Fischl for free.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
I have two useless cards that I can use to convert to Electro. Generate Oz again.
Oz, reveal thyself.
And I can end my turn. During the next round, this game will be over. I will use this to draw two more cards to see if I can get anything that will... I will use this to have Oz do one more round of damage. I will switch to Diluc for free.
Let's go.
And I'll end my round because I do not have Catherine on the field. Otherwise, I would have been able to attack. Or if I also had Leave It to Me, I could have finished that character, finished the Hilichurl with one shot. Okay, I forgot to heal my Diluc. I mean, there was no need for me to unleash his burst, but I'm just going to end the game with style, so. So this does it for the guide to deck building, and if it helped you, do leave a like, leave a comments, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.